1 2 1 2 1 2. Understand what's happening, man. I'm in New York. My vote doesn't mean a thing. You know? You people out there in the Midwest and, all that shit, your vote counts. My vote does not count. I'm in New York. It's been like that my whole life. You know? So what does that mean? That means it ain't no fun for me. Let's do this Sue Bird. See what this hoe had to say. No, I don't want Sue Bird. Yo, I'm in New York. My vote doesn't count. You guys get to go out there. Your vote counts. I'm in New York. There's no help here, baby. It's over. I mean, completely over in New York. And this is some of the feelings that we have out here where, the vote doesn't count. You can never turn New York red. It's over. So when people say, hey, your vote counts, yes, you people out there in the Midwest, you live somewhere where you can make a difference in the whole country. In New York, we can't do a damn thing. Like I say, I don't even know if it pays to be pro-Trump in New York. You know? All right, let's just go with EJ. You niggas want EJ, you get EJ. My vote doesn't count. You niggas want EJ, you get EJ.
Amazing ambassadors have been on the stage. Our speakers have been everything today. Yes. So inspiring. Oh, so much love in this room. So many beautiful young people. Okay. First of all, let me start by thanking the HRC and Time to Thrive. Thank you so much for honoring me. This is a huge honor and a privilege, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you beautiful young people today. Let me also thank my amazing fans.
Now, understand, Kamala Harris. I'm in New York. My vote means squat. But I want y'all to know, Kamala Harris is the most powerful woman in the world, and we are going through a transformation. The new society of acceptance and inclusion isn't that bad. This EJ.
Family, my parents, who I would never be anywhere without them, their undying love and support for me has been my rock, and I know that a lot of us in the community don't always have the love of our families or our parents, so I'm doubly blessed with that. And I'm also blessed with the love of my chosen family, and I know that all of us have chosen family, and those of us who don't really should find that love, because all of us deserve love. And the pinnacle, actually, of my chosen family, my best friend Michael is here with me today. We came out to each other at 13. We've been best friends since we were little. And
we came out to each other when we was 13. And like I say, I'm not trying to say it's a problem. All I'm saying is this is where we're headed. And like, say I had a vote that could stop this. My vote means squad. It's for middle America and all that other stuff. I'm in New York. My vote means nothing.
And I never would have been able to navigate life or high school without him, whether we laughed or we cried or hooked up with football players under the bleachers. Yes.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying right there. Man. Yo, son, listen. My vote means shit. Magic Johnson's son said him and his friend would laugh together, cry together, and hook up with football players under the bleachers together. Now, I think that might be the worst part of the rainbow community, I would say. Now, this ain't for me, but I would say the worst part of the rainbow community is they want to pick at your curiosity, right? If you had it, they want to pick at your curiosity. Be someone that you could confide to. You fall into that nasty web, right? And then later on, they say, yeah, I was hooking up with the football player who put all his trust in me. That is the most disgusting part of the rainbow community, I believe. Because you shouldn't have to say football player. You should be able to say I hooked up with so-and-so. But you believe that would ruin that man's life. And you in the rainbow community, people have a joy out of having that sort of power over a straight man's life who hadn't came out yet and who is messing around with somebody like EJ. And another thing, you don't feel disgusting, EJ, that you hooked up with football players and you continuously hook up with different men? I mean, you rainbow community people you don't get married. You just
chosen family. My best friend Michael is here with me today. We came out to each other at 13. We've been best friends since we were little, and I never would have been able to navigate life or high school without him. Whether we laughed, or we cried, or hooked up with football players under the bleachers. Yes.
It's disgusting that, and I'm not saying you can't be rainbow, but how many different people you need? Is this some sort of sex cult or something?
We were those girls, and we're still those girls. And I never would have been able to navigate life or high school without him. Whether we laughed, or we cried, or hooked up with football players under the bleachers. Yes. We were those girls, and we're still those girls. I speak about love because...
Is that what you think girls do? Hook up with football players under the bleachers, don't have boyfriends, just run around on sexcapades? Yo, it's wild.
That's the only way that I was able to live my life authentically and openly and loud and proud, because that's where it starts. And, I really implore everyone to just take in all the love you can, find it wherever you can, and live your truth and do whatever makes you happy, because this is really a crazy and incredibly scary and beautiful time. There's so...
And that right there is a microcosm of how the rainbow community view things. Scary, beautiful. Yes. It's ridiculous. We just think it's outright weird, but they find beauty in it because of the freedom to be able to hook up with same-sex people under the bleachers and do all this. It's crazy.
So many revolutions happening, whether it be gender, whether it be trans kids, or trans people, or people of color. Like, a lot of stuff is being talked about, but at the same time, there's a lot of people who are trying to take our voices away and our rights away and our visibility away. And so we not only need to celebrate what we're doing and the movement, but we also need to come forward even more now and be visible and use our voices. And so to all these amazing young people in the audience and watching and all over the world, I just want you to find out what you're passionate about. Find out what you love doing. Whatever your talents are, whether you sing, whether you dance, whether you're acting, whatever you're doing, work at it and come forward and share it with us, because we need to see it. We need you at the forefront. We need more faces out there doing a lot and being visible and being talked about it and furthering the conversation. And I'm even doing...
Now, like I said, when I see this sort of stuff, I'm sitting there saying, okay, this is a black man. Okay? He chose an alternative lifestyle. No problem. But why do you abandon being a black man? What do you mean us? Why did you abandon the black people like that? Why, whatever your fight is, why does the black man not include it? Why is he not included? It's crazy what they did to our soldiers.
Doing that with myself. I'm brushing up my acting skills. I'm working towards being a drama queen. So Don't be surprised if you see this bitch on the screen near you sometime doing the most. Just putting it out there. But I really wanted to say that to you guys as I thought about what I was going to talk about today. I just wanted more faces, and we really just need to come forward as a community, as a collective, and encourage each other and love each other and support each other, you know, and that's what's so important about life, really. And life is way too short, honey. Like, we have to just keep it right, keep it tight, spread love, and love ourselves and push ourselves to be the best we can be. Whether you're a she, whether you're he, whether you're they, whatever you call yourself, honey, you just gotta love yourself and do you. And with that, I'm gonna say thank you again. I love you all.
Yep. Good question, Bama. One love to you, pimp. I live in New York. My vote means shit. You already know what it is. They put me in a position where they say, yo, get down or lay down. You gonna rainbow this shit up? You gonna ride with Kamala? You gonna rainbow the hell out of this thing in New York. You don't have a choice. You understand? You don't have a choice, homie. In New York. Out, if you brothers live somewhere else in a red state or something, you can make a difference. But out here in New York, brother, you know how it feels when your voice don't count, dog? You know how it feels when your vote don't count? It's a horrible feeling, dog.
It is our great privilege to introduce someone who needs no introduction in this room, but we're going to do it anyway. A fighter who never backs down in the face of injustice. An optimist who doesn't just believe in a brighter future, she goes out and she actually builds it. A leader who has shown every young woman and girl in this nation that this country is one of possibility. As the first woman...
Whoa, ma'am. Why are boys not included in your rhetoric? This is crazy.
That this country is one of possibility. As the first woman in a brighter future, she goes out and she actually builds it. A leader who has shown every young woman and girl in this nation that this country is one of possibility. As the first woman, as the first Black American, as the first South Asian American, she is open.
That's the funny part as well. That's one thing I always said. Like, these people, like, first of all, you could come to America or you could come to the Black neighborhood and do and thrive. We can't go to your country and do shit. Like, Kamala try to bring us to India, they take her head, B.
Opened up our mind, our collective imagination of what is possible. And personally, she has shown this Black and South Indian household a type of representation we have never seen before. And she has spent her entire career opening doors of opportunity and advancing equality for our community and countless others. As District Attorney of San Francisco, she fought to outlaw the gay and trans panic defense. As the California's Attorney General, she refused to defend Proposition 8 in court. When the Supreme Court lifted the stay on marriages in California, she got on the phone and immediately ordered the clerk in Los Angeles to begin issuing marriage licenses. And then she came straight to San Francisco City Hall to officiate the first wedding for a same-sex couple in California post-Prop 8. As a member of the United States Senate, she worked closely with us on the Equality Act and so many other critical pieces of legislation. And now, as the Vice President, she has used the power of her office and the power of her platform to defend and advance progress. It's thanks to her we have the most diverse cabinet in United States history. With LGBTQ plus leaders breaking boundaries at every level of government, we have Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson sitting on the Supreme Court. We have a White House that is fighting on behalf of our trans youth in the states, that is fighting for voting rights, that is fighting for abortion access, that is fighting for equality, equity, and liberation. As our Vice President, she is truly showing up for our communities. And through her leadership, she is showing every young woman and girl that they are powerful and that their voice matters. So now, please join us in giving a warm HRC welcome to the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
So there you have it, man. This is what it is, man. I hate to break niggas' heart, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is something that these people been planning for a long time. Y'all have no clue, but you do have a clue, because if you a black person in America, you knew when Joe Biden got elected and he had Kamala Harris as his vice president, in the black community, I'm only talking about black people now, we had thought that something would happen to Joe Biden, he would get sick, and then she would just be the president. We thought she would get in easier than this. They kind of made a whole story out of it. They kind of made $1 billion and $1 trillion out of this. Instead of him getting sick, they made it way more creative, way more fun. And it started with the big people in this room. And like I said, I want to prepare people for a new way forward, because I don't want her to win and then my people are going to be shell-shocked on this new life. I knew I should have found that. I'm being lazy, y'all. I should have found that video where these people said Kamala hadn't came out the closet yet. A lot of these people in this room believe Kamala will come out the closet when she gets elected. As you can see right here, she has the lesbian beads, she has the lace, because she's comfortable. She's with her rainbow people. She won't wear this in her rallies and stuff, because she don't want people to take it wrong.
True measure of strength is based on who you lift up. So with that, I will say it is so good to be with everyone tonight. So good. Thank you. So I first attended this dinner, the first time I attended, in 1999.
1999 is the first time she attended the dinner. I did this before. People that saw, they know she's been a part of the elite group since 1999. Now, that's the part I wanted to make. Okay, you see the background. Now look at EJ. Let's go back to EJ. EJ's at the same place, bro.
What's up, guys? My name's Daisy.
EJ is at the same place, homie. You say, well, how could EJ be at the same place that Vice President Kamala Harris is at? How? It don't even make sense. Hold on, give me a second. I done fucked up. How is EJ at the same place that Vice President Kamala Harris is? How's that even possible? Because they have a bigger coalition. Right. Dolomite, I agree. In the black community, we all knew they had the fix in for Kamala. We didn't see it coming this way. You have to give the elites credit that they put the fix in that was crazy. We never saw it coming this way. They was hoping for Joe Biden to get that second term so they could ease in Kamala with no pushback. But the emperor having no clothes of Joe being senile. Right. They didn't know he was going to be senile. I disagree. I think they had it a little more creative. I don't think Joe is senile at all. I don't think Joe Biden is senile at all. Brian Turner, man, listen. You're in a state where your vote matters. My vote don't matter out here. No matter what happens, all my gladiator bitches are going to come home or wherever they're going to say, yo, I voted for Kamala today because we're in New York. In New York, I have no, y'all know, bro, I was pro-Trump when it first happened. I was the only black man pro-Trump in New York, wearing the clothes and shit like that. I faced a lot of grief being pro-Trump in 2016 because nobody thought he was going to win except me. Now, this time, I feel different. I don't believe that, look, I'm showing you the power. Look, man.
because that's the only way that I was able to live my life authentically and openly and loud and proud, because that's where it starts. And, you know, I really implore everyone to just take in all the love you can, find it wherever you can, and live your truth. And we're those girls, and we're still those girls. We've been best friends since we were little, and I never would have been able to navigate life or high school without him, whether we laughed or we cried or hooked up with football players under the bleachers. Yes. We were those girls, and we're still.
Pay attention to the background. This dude, this EJ, talking about doing nasty. Same place. Look, same place.
With my dear friend, Mark Leno. I was a courtroom prosecutor at the time, and Mark was then one of the first openly gay members of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors.
You heard the same thing? Gay man under the bleachers, gay man working with Kamala. Powerful people. I feel bad for y'all here in Louisiana. Even the ghetto bitches don't play with the dudes down here like that. We vote for who we want, bro. We are not who a chick tells it, bro. You don't, you know how my vote means shit in New York, son. One Trump voter to, in my estimation, 30 Kamala voters in New York. 1 to 30. See, and that is almost a good thing that New York don't matter. It really is. Because, we are way too saturated out here. New York don't matter, man. And it's a painful feeling. Like, bro, my vote means trash. My vote means absolutely nothing out here. Now, that's fucked up. I can't make a difference, dog. No.
And these many dinners and years later, I am honored to be here at the HRC dinner as Vice President of the United States.
You don't understand, brother. Jeff Bezos, George Clooney, Pink, Lady Gaga, Obama, Bill, Hillary, all the bigwigs are in this room. Governors, people that make a difference. And they made the difference on Trump. They made sure he didn't win last time. And I believe that they are going to really do a job this time. NYC dudes need to come down here. Crazy how different the women here are compared to up there. Whether it's Trump or Harris, females down here don't play that dumb shit with dudes, right? Bro, it's one of my stories. One of my stories are, the Gladiator BW has a war out for the alpha black male. Okay? And that shit is real in New York. They want to really sit your ass down. Not me. But, they sit niggas down out here. It's power out here, son. And like I said, one of the things that I would never forgive the black woman for is how they let the Mexicans and them treat us in these stores and these restaurants and never speak up for us. It's so fucked up the way the black woman lets black men get treated in New York by all these fucking other ethnic backgrounds in regular shopping. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be way more smoke in these stores from black women standing up for black men. But my vote don't matter.
Harris and Tim Walz are the champions that we need. They will protect our freedoms. They will strengthen our democracy. They will expand opportunity for every person in this nation. They will lead our nation forward because we are not first gay straight alliance. After serving in the military, Coach Walz went to Congress and helped get Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed. And as states were passing bills to take away health care from trans folks, Coach Walz went and did the exact opposite. As governor of Minnesota, he signed a law to make his state a safe haven for those seeking transition care. Y'all, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are the champions that we need.
Tim Walz was the first state. Tim Walz was the first state for transition care funded by the government. That's why she got Tim Walz. Y'all think y'all know why. Y'all think because of the tampons. No, listen.
For those seeking transition care, y'all, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz blog makes his state a safe haven for those seeking transition care. Y'all, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are the champions that we need. They will protect our freedoms. They will strengthen our democracy. They will expand opportunity for every person in this nation. They will lead our nation forward because we are not going back. Go ahead and start chanting at home. We're not going back. Make sure your neighbors hear you too. Listen, well, more and more Americans.
Now that's a good point right there. Pay attention. Scream loud and loud. We're not going back. Make sure your neighbors hear you. That's a great point. See, as a black man in New York, I grew up in hip hop, and we used to rap on the street, do stuff, be loud, do all the wild shit. What did they do to thug niggas and regular people that wanted to show excitement and regular? Yo, they quieted us down so much that I can't even be myself on YouTube and get subscribers. So they done quieted the man down of being this loud, boisterous, smart, entertaining, charming. He can't be loud with swag with it. He need to funnel that shit through. While the fucking rainbow community get to be loud and proud. That's one of the major problems I have, dog. Fucking rainbow community could do everything. We go put 8 niggas in a rap cipher, fucking police coming. Are you fucking kidding me? Crazy, big.
Are joining the joy of this campaign, are feeling the hope of this campaign. On calls like this, we also got to keep it real. Donald Trump still has a lot of support. This race is going to be close, but we are here, we are queer, and when we show up, we win. When we vote, we win. Y'all, there are 75 million equality voters in this country who prioritize LGBTQ plus issues at the ballot box. That's more than the number of registered voters in all of the swing states combined. We can quite literally decide the future of our nation. We just got to show up. Because
you hear that? 75 million queers. More than the whole election. Scary numbers. Scary numbers. Now, what does that mean to me? That means, okay, let's do it all over again. What do we have? What they said? 40, 60 million black folks? Fuck it. Let's make it a cool 100 million black folks, right? They always say it's more women than men. So we're going to say 60, 40. All right? Now, out of that 40 million men, who's voting for Trump? All right? You got to take at least what? 5 out for LGBT rainbow. And then another 5 that's going to back them. So that's going to leave you with 30. If you want to take away that 10 of black women that will vote for Trump, okay, so you at 30 to their 50. So you're still at a disadvantage. The numbers don't add up when you add in that queer and then you put the immigrants that they made sure got license and everything. They're playing a numbers game. Like I said, they trying to fix this election in a whole different way. Definitely out here from what I see in New York. And then you got, the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. He's been giving illegals driver's license ever since they got there. That's why I don't mess with CNN and Fox, because they won't say it. Tim Walz is giving illegals driver's license as soon as they get to Minnesota. Nobody talks about it. Like I say, these people are powerful. In New York, my vote don't mean shit. BT said in Baton Rouge, they'll kind of, in Baton Rouge, they'll get on you. You better vote for Kamala shit, but not everywhere else though. Broads down here would never. New York is disgusting. All my gladiators say, y'all making sure I'm going to vote. I'm a regular dude. I said, ma'am, you're in New York. Your vote don't matter. But they said something that's important to me. I just want to be a part of the winning team. I was like, damn. I've asked every black woman I know, do you agree with Kamala with the reproductive rights. They say no. But they don't care. They still gonna go vote.
Because this election is more than about sets of candidates. It's about two different visions for America. It's a decision that will impact what life looks like for candidates. It's about two different visions.
Listen.
All of the swing states combined, we can quite literally decide the future of our nation. We just got to show up.
Listen.
But we are here. We are queer. And when we show up, we win. When we vote, we win. Y'all, there are 75 million equality voters in this country who prioritize LGBTQ plus issues at the ballot box. That's more than the number of registered voters in all of the swing states combined. We can quite literally decide the future of our nation. We just got to show up. Because this election is more than about sets of candidates. It's about two different visions for America. It's a decision that will impact what life looks like for generations to come. I mean, look, we can have state houses that demonize trans kids, or we can have schools that welcome and support those kids. Yo,
Did you hear that? Now, I need y'all to know something. I've never watched this video, but y'all know about these people. Did y'all hear that? We have some people that demonize trans kids. Ma'am, why is a kid a trans? Ma'am, what the fuck do you think is regular about that? Why would you do that to a child? Why does this roll off your tongue so effortlessly? That is not good behavior. It's bad enough, y'all. Look at you, you're a boy. But you're grown. Why would you put a child through that? This is crazy. My goodness.
We can quite literally decide the future of our nation. We just got to show up. Because this election is more than about sets of candidates. It's about two different visions for America. It's a decision that will impact what life looks like for generations to come. I mean, look, we can have state houses that demonize trans kids, or we can have schools that welcome and support those kids. Yo, we can have a Congress that continues to attack pregnant people, or a Congress that codifies Roe v. Wade into law.
Ma'am, will you be getting pregnant anytime soon with your lesbian ass? Why do you care? Ma'am, don't you know a man helped create that baby? Do you give a fuck about how the man feels that his baby's gonna get deleted? Yeah, he wanted that baby? What the hell is wrong with these people? But I'm just trying to express to y'all the new way forward. I'm adapting to it. I done been through enough of this Kamala Harris research rabbit hole that I'm going to know how to move in this new lifestyle. And what did I learn about this election? Let me tell y'all something. Besides the fact that I'm in New York and my vote means squat. Even if all the bitches go vote for Kamala in New York, it means nothing. This is a blue state. Ain't shit we could do. You add in the fact that black men ain't together, black people ain't together. The New York's done. My vote means garbage. Now, I might not be the brightest person, but I know that. Now, look at what's happening here. Let me play this back so I can remember my thought.
Or we can have schools that welcome and support those kids. Yo, we can have a Congress that continues to attack pregnant people.
Right. Ma'am, you're not going to have any babies. Why do you give a damn? Yo, it makes no sense. I've never seen anything like this. Where men, straight men, gay men, and lesbian women care about pregnancy. I've never seen anything like this. But I want y'all to be prepared for the new way forward. Oh, that's what my thought was. By going down this rabbit hole, I've learned this. I've learned that they've used black men against themselves. What they did, they knew that black men has this homophobia. They knew that black men has a rainbow phobia, right? What does that mean? That means that the black man is not going to be friends with the Indian. They're not going to be friends with the Asian, not going to be friends with the Mexican, not going to be friends with nobody that's homo. Okay? Whereas the woman, she's going to be friends with all those people. So we have basically took ourselves out of all of the network and the coalition building that Kamala Harris talks about. Kamala Harris is about building coalitions with different networks and walks of life. You know, you can be anything. You can be anything. Where I draw the line, because we've been living in the rainbow society for a while now. We all used to it. Where I draw the line is why y'all doing that to the children? Why did y'all let Dwayne Wade's son do that? Why is he an inspiration for children to do that? Let the children live. If they're gay, they're gay. When they grow up, they could go get their transition. You know? It is sick out here, man. And a person like me that can be outspoken and talk with swag, I'm the fucking enemy. I'm the weirdo here. So I've learned the new way forward. When I rebuilt this channel right here, I tried to tell homie, yo, I gotta be a less aggressive, less swag dude. That ain't even good enough. I gotta go all the way left. You know, this shit is wild what they did to people. Like, in order to be yourself on YouTube, I guess you like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Congress that codifies Roe v. Wade into law. We can have a 34-time felony convict, wannabe white nationalist dictator. Or we can have a White House that looks like America and a president who fights for all of us. We just have to show up right now. So tonight, my friends, you're going to hear a ton of details about how we see the race, about our plan and our path to victory, and what we need to do to get to Election Day and the day after that. I'm honored to be in this fight alongside every single one of you. And I need you to remember two things. That November 5th is the last day of the election, not the first. We got to work as hard as we can every day that we can to win. And I guarantee you, if we do that, on the other side of this, we are going to get to say three powerful words. Congratulations, Madam President. Thanks, y'all, for having me. Have a great night and get fired up because we got some work to do.
Yep.
HRC, Lynn held various leadership positions in organizations to advance LGBTQ plus equality.
Oh, whoa, hold on. We got some action here. Now, this is Lynn Bowman. What? I'm trying to make you guys understand the new way forward. Yes, I'm having trouble as well. This is Nick Harris. This is a female. I think. See, I'm not sure. This is, man. Hold on, man. All right, this is a girl trying to be a boy. Okay. Nick Harris. This is a girl that's trying to be a boy, but still identifies as she and they, meaning I guess she could be a boy whenever. This is Lynn Bowman. I would believe this is a man, but identifies as she, her. This is the new way forward. See, they think black men are not aware. We are aware.
On progressive issues. Lynn, I'm turning it over to you.
All right. Well, Nick, you were cutting out for me, but
Well, maybe this is a woman. Who the fuck knows? I don't, this is, that's all I'm saying. We're in this, that's the new way forward.
We know equality is on the ballot. And to me, nothing makes that issue quite as clear or even feel quite as pressing as the knowledge that we are facing Project 2025. Now, some of you in this chat have actually already brought up Project 2025, but there might be plenty of you that don't know too much about it, or you don't know how to talk about it as you're trying to work with folks to help them see that the Harris Walls campaign really is here to fight for all of us. And so I'd love to dive a little bit more into what these plans are. Now, Project 2025.
Now, before we get into this, you need to understand, as a black man, you're not going to be this guy's friend. And they're using our realness against us. Yeah, you black, you don't want to be around the homos, but guess what else? You don't want to be around your own kind either. And they know that. While the woman, they go build friendships with these people. And don't forget the fact that as a man, you have to be like this guy. What does that mean? It's the wildest shit. It's hard for any regular man to pull off, I think, because I would never try it. But you have to have this soft nature about you.
Is a radical guidebook that looks to outline how do you remake the government and really how do you remake the country to reverse all of our gains in equality over the last few decades, if not centuries, and how do you hand complete power over the executive branch over to Donald Trump. Now, Project 2025 is so radical that now that it's gone public, now that people are talking about it, Donald Trump himself has even tried to distance himself from it. But all of us here know that Donald Trump has a pattern and a practice of lying about anything he can. And the greatest cure to that is to look at the facts, is to really understand what's going on. And when we do that, we know that there is no way he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. After all, this is something that was written by people that he appointed to be leaders in his previous administration, including some of his secretaries. This is something that has been written by people and organizations that he's continued to work and consult with, not only during his last presidency, but now over his last 2 presidential campaigns. And these are organizations that continue to vocally support him and fight for him to be elected. But at the end of the day, even when you...
Now, what is he talking about? He's talking about people who do not want trans children, who fight against children being able to make that decision, right? Because what happens after they allow children to make that decision, what Kamala Harris and them is they're fighting for conversion therapy. If you don't know what conversion therapy is, that is when these children have the transition, right? And then you know how they have regrets for doing it and all that stuff, and they go through mental stuff. What Kamala Harris and all of them are fighting for is federally funded Medicare or medical treatment for conversion therapy for children, meaning the parents will get the money. You know what I'm saying? And it's a new way forward where you could go adopt a child. That child want to get transitioned, you'll get money for that. And you'll get, federal care and things of that nature. And they have doctors in place that can do it. This stuff is serious, man.
You pair all of those connections back, we can see that Project 2025 is an agenda that aligns perfectly with everything Donald Trump did the last time he was in office and all of the rhetoric and the threats that he's been making on the campaign trail ever since. And so let's dive a little bit into what some of those ideas are. What is on Donald Trump's wish list and agenda for our country? Now, first and foremost is remaking the executive branch, making it so that it's going to follow his whims, follow his agenda, and always do exactly what he needed to do. And in fact, he started that work before he last left office, when he tried to remove protections for career employees so that he could replace the federal government staff with his people. Instead of having experts working on these issues, he wanted hand-selected political appointees to keep working, and Project 2025 encourages that as a pillar of its agenda. It also continues on, singling out other agencies that Donald Trump has had in his crosshairs, such as the Department of Justice, and making sure that they have less power to enforce the law. It's going after agencies like the Department of Education, and even pushing to eliminate them completely. But the work, of course, doesn't stop there. When you dig through Project 2025, it's clear that they want to enact some of the most vindictive parts of Donald Trump's agenda, and that includes reversing gains in lived equality for everybody, but especially for LGBTQ plus people, and particularly transgender people.
And that's the fight in a nutshell. See, the reason why I don't like Kamala Harris and them is because they won't say what the real fight is. And that's the only thing that really pissed me off about Kamala Harris. That's the only thing. Other than that, I rock with her. But the fact that she's lying about what her real fight is, and that's why we call black women stupid. She's telling you to delete your fucking babies while she out here fighting for fucking trans rights. So she won't tell the real truth of her real fight. See, they're mad because Trump want to get rid of that trans shit, especially on the children. And he has a group of powerful people that wants to get rid of that. And then the white people they don't want the boys playing sports. And that's what we're saying on the straight side. We're saying when them boys get to go play sports and they get to dominate your sports, this is what you voted for because you were worried about reproductive rights. When them boys are competing with them girls, beating them bitches down and hurting them, this is what you voted for. So all of us men, we will laugh because we know what the new way forward is, so that boys can compete in girls' sports and dominate them bitches because they stupid. They don't see it coming. They're worried about their rights. Whoa. Well, the trans men got the same rights.
He will not stop talking about on the campaign trail, as you know. Project 2025 and Donald Trump are about division, and their ideas are only going to continue dividing us. One of those is to eliminate all of the work that's been done over the last few years to ensure that LGBTQ plus people are being protected from discrimination.
Now, does anybody know any LGBTQ plus people that has been discriminated on in the past 5 years? Hell no. They haven't been discriminated on in a long time. But the point that I'm trying to make is they're still fighting. As you black people sit around fake fighting about any fucking thing, talking about garbage on the internet, listening to Umar and Tariq and them, ain't organized to do shit, couldn't give a damn about one another. Everybody's an individual and don't want to be a part of a monolith. This is the time where it comes to bite you. You want to be so individual, but you think you stand together. The falseness in your fake camaraderie is going to show. While these rainbow people have real camaraderie, and they know black men don't.
They want to eliminate rules, guidance, and so many efforts by agencies to recognize that we are protected under the law, to make it so that if you're going to the hospital, if you're a child in school, even if you're the employee of a federal contractor, that you wouldn't have any recourse if you're discriminated against. Now, of course, we fought long and hard alongside our movement partners to make sure that we have many win gains for equality, including a 2020 Supreme Court decision about employment discrimination. But Project 2025 wants those wins to be limited, and it would even call on Donald Trump's government to go in and implement those decisions in the most narrow way that they can, to lead to
You're damn right, because you're taking all of the jobs from every fucking body. I can't take not one airplane without every man being fucking rainbow. I said to myself, well, damn, do any straight men work on the airlines? I mean, do any straight men, like you have all the jobs, and you're mad that Donald Trump want to even the playing field and give straight men jobs again. I mean, you guys have all the fucking jobs. Two chicks asked me, did I vote yesterday? I said, yeah, so we couldn't go back and forth. We don't care who wins. I don't complain. I live my life. I stay in my lane. Brother, I'm in New York. My vote don't mean shit. It's a blue state. It's a blue state. And it's a melting pot. And we got the immigrants. And we got to this. And we got to that. Like, my vote means garbage. You think I'm a simple dude. This is a Kamala state here, baby boy. The question that everybody's asking me, you gonna get down or you gonna lay down, chump? I'm like, damn. And I try to show y'all, look how powerful Kamala Harris people, she got the most powerful people. Wouldn't y'all want to be down with this?
The logical.
All right, let me ask a question. Because this is the major question. It's a few things I learned going down the Kamala rabbit hole, and this was another thing that I learned. As black men or regular straight men and women, well, the women don't count because they're down with them for the most part, because they got to work with them and stuff like that. Now, as a straight man, could you be down with Kamala Harris and them? Could you be friends with a dude like this, knowing he getting fucked in his ass? Pause. See, because this is where we're losing at. I've learned that going down this Kamala Harris rabbit hole. We cannot be friends with him. And we're losing. They have all the networks, all the jobs. Same, Albany, New York, here. Yo, I be up in Albany, yo. And it's a heavily Democratic held state. Maybe it could be a shock in a few. Man, you know, New York, we're done. My vote means nothing. I ain't tell y'all the story. Yeah, Key. Thank you for answering, man. I just want you to understand what the new way forward is. And I want all y'all to understand what the new way forward is. The new way forward is, can you be a friends with this dude? He can get you a good job. Not for us, for the younger generation. He can get you a good job. He can get your music heard by millions of people. He can do anything you want. He can get you in the basketball team. He can whatever. Can you network and be friends with a dude like this? Oh, that was the point that I was going to make. It's the old Kevin Samuels point. It's the whole Kevin Samuels point. Now, a lot of us black men thought Kevin Samuels was gay when we first seen him, without ever hearing him talk. After hearing him talk, we still thought he was gay. But guess what he did? He spoke up for men. And that is one of the major problems that straight men have with the gay men. You have abandoned manhood so much that you, as a man that's supposed to be my brother and an ally, you believe that you can't be that because you're gay. Now, what does that mean? That means that, yo, when we grew up, gay dudes, like say you had a homeboy that was gay, you ain't never know. They kept it in the closet and it was about manhood. But as the years went on, they have abandoned manhood. Now, let's say Kevin Samuels was gay. He didn't abandon manhood, so we rocked with him. We don't give a fuck if he's gay. He's speaking up for men. He's identifying as a man and understanding what men went through. And listen, I told niggas many times, I could understand why niggas go gay. They don't want to deal with the Gladiator BW. I get it. You know? I know why niggas went gay. They don't want to deal with the Gladiator BW. I get it. Those the niggas that really said, bitch, your pussy don't mean shit to me. It still means something to us. But the gay dudes, but what happened on the back end, okay, cool. I don't trust nothing the government says. Why are they not talking about corona? I mean, you know how that goes, man. What you do in private is on you. Don't try to hit on me. See, this is the tricky part. That's the tricky part, Key. So, boom, this dude was your friend, right? This dude was your friend. And he never tried to hit on you. But everybody that know y'all know he gay. So what they gonna think about you? Can you handle that part? It's weird how they got the black man and how we got abandoned out of the rainbow community because of what we stand on. It's weird how I'm telling you, this Kamala rabbit hole really taught me a lesson about the abandonment of straight men. It's a long story. No, because it doesn't benefit the black community, and I don't want that transgender in bathrooms nonsense. I have and live with the family member that's rainbow, but I'm not agreeing with right. But that's what happens. They're pulling us, they're leaving us out, knowing that we won't get together and be a force. And Trump is trying to base everything on basic human nature and morals and values. But one thing that we know in the black community, we too fake to stand up for anything. And then if we did, what do we have? Infiltration, and then we don't have the backing of the sisters. Girls, women's bathrooms, and sports. You know what? Let's do it. Because I've been wanting to do this for y'all for a while. Because some of you young niggas may not know. And I really believe they need to make this movie again. It was called Joanna Man. See this this movie Joanna Man, they was ahead of their time. And Vivica Fox was a part of this. This when Vivica Fox was the shit. Vivica Fox, the one that everybody don't like no more, she was a fox. Okay? It was a movie called Joanna Man. All right? It was amazing. See, the young kids don't know about this. It was amazing. It was an amazing movie. Why was it amazing? Because it made it right now, it would be the perfect movie because it would really stick it to the people in their faces. All right. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna check this out real quick. I can handle it. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm a man of God. I can control what others think. I remember that movie. That's Brittany Griner. It was real, Key, if you remember the movie. The younger people don't know. What did say? I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm a man of God. I can handle that. Well, they're betting that we can't handle it. They're betting that we can't go be around Saucy Santana. We can't go be around Saucy Santana and this dude. How? Going to brunch, talking business, getting other black kids jobs, really making a difference in the black community. But every day or a couple days a week, you're with Saucy Santana and this dude out in public, kicking it, laughing, doing real business, helping black children. You know what I'm saying? You know? That's what they use against us. That's what I learned by going down the Kamala Harris rabbit hole. As black people, they use our own shit against us, and black people will never be together enough to fight this. You know why? Because they're too powerful now. They got your best and your brightest.
Well, outcomes like the fact that, okay, fine, we can't fire you or deny you hiring because you're gay or trans, but we can harass you at work. We can demote you, and we can ultimately push you out of the job. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Key. Listen, Key. No, y'all got it wrong. You and the O got it wrong. You can't be like that no more. A new way forward is your mind doesn't even think like that. Your mind is built in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if you can't be a part of that, you're not a part of the new way forward. But guess what? It's your right not to be a part of it. It's your right to go be a part of regular people. What they're trying to do is say, no, they are regular people.
They want to change the way that agencies are prioritizing what they're investigating, what they're researching to make sure that we are placed back in the shadows. And of course, it explicitly calls back to bring back some of the most unpopular.
Trump wants them back in the shadows. Kamala wants them up front. What do you want? I live in New York. My vote don't mean shit. That's why y'all never heard me say shit. What does my vote matter? I'm still old school. I just speak and keep it moving. I wasn't raised to mistreat. No, Key. You got to have a brunch with this dude and Saucy Santana every 2 days a week. Y'all do a lot of business. Y'all get young people jobs. Y'all start sports and stuff for young black boys and girls. Can you handle people saying, yo, that nigga Key hang out with Saucy Santana and this Indian dude every day? I know something got to be happening. Can you handle that for the betterment of the youth? Because that's what they're using against us. While they'll put Brittany Griner and all them people up front, they don't involve men in any of their philanthropy and all this other bullshit. Where they could take niggas from the hood with them and they be teaching basketball, all the men that taught them basketball, showing that the black man is XYZ, helpful towards their cause. It's an abandonment. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything in my current circumstances in this state. I'm looking right now. Somebody who understands my pain. I mean, can a black nigga have some pain? I am in New York. Think about it. Y'all saw Trump come to the Bronx just to have a good time. This way, you know, ain't nothing happening here. Ain't nothing happening here, homie. We are doomed in New York. And that don't matter who wins or loses. That's what y'all people from other places don't realize. New York, we've been doomed. We like the, other than Minnesota, because Minnesota is the leader. Other than Minnesota, we're the leader. You can say Hollywood all you want, but all of the gays and all of the criminal gay niggas and people, they get handled over here in New York. You know what I mean? Hollywood ain't got it. They bring niggas from Hollywood over here to prosecute their ass. You understand? It's serious over here. I'm looking to upgrade my finances in the next few years, try to get up out of here in personal family. Right, I understand, man. New York is wicked. And I love it. Like I got, you know, I be up there in Albany, yo. But my people's in Jamestown.
Popular parts of Donald Trump's first term, like his transgender military ban and ending support for LGBTQ plus rights abroad. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. Project 2025 also calls to keep moving on anti-equality propositions using the rhetoric that Donald Trump has been using on the campaign trail. And so, of course, as he fights against the rights of trans kids to access best practice medical care, Project...
Do you hear what he just said? Do you understand what the new way forward is on the children? Listen, this is about children. This man don't give a damn about no child. That child could die trying to go through a transition, something that he didn't have to or she didn't have to do as a child.
And so, of course, as he fights against the rights of trans kids to access best practice medical care.
Let me move this comment. Look on the screen of trans kids to Donald Trump fights against trans kids to access best practice medical care. Ma'am or brother, whatever you are, why do you want a kid to be a trans? Don't you know that child can die going through that? Why do you want that? Why would you be opposed to Trump not wanting that so children can't do it? What is wrong? Like I said, it's going to come down to this, y'all.
On a Man, which was released in 2002. There are some spoilers ahead. Let's start the movie without further ado. The movie opens up with Jamal, a professional, skillful NBA basketball player, but with a lousy character both on and off the court. He runs lavish parties all the time, cheats on his girlfriend, and has no limits to doing odd things everywhere. Here, it can be seen Jamal stamping for a fan instead of giving him his real autograph, which left the little kid baffled. Jamal, who just finished his 6-week suspension, is present in the team lineup on match day. He scores one after another, such as monster dunks and three-point shots. But from the very beginning of the game, he got into trouble with one of the rival players for no reason, pulling his jersey and mocking his shortness and inexperience. In a little time, he had gotten his 5 fouls limits, meaning one more foul is enough for him to be sent off. To avoid losing the game, the team coach gets a timeout and decides to put Jamal on the bench. Enraged, Jamal told him that they are ahead because of his skills. He then takes off his jersey, throwing it in coach's face. But that's not all of it. He approaches the fans, stripping naked and throwing his underwear, which lands right on a fan sandwich. The fans are baffled while his teammates are embarrassed. As security escorting him out, he ironically tells everyone there, "Say hello to my little friend," mentioning his manhood. While the dialogue belongs to Al Pacino's Scarface movie. Soon, the incident has made the headline news on several TV channels. Oblivious now. He was dropped by his endorsement on his way back home. He notices a bunch of kids playing basketball.
Now, this was it. This was right here, y'all. This was it, man, in case anybody remembers. But Key said, I ain't hanging with no drag queen, transformer, no shit like that. I will be nice to you at work. You go your way, I go mine. I'll try to do a nice looking, come on. That's my nigga. But you understand what I'm saying. The new way forward holds your realness against you. This is what I've learned in the Kamala Harris rabbit hole. This is what I've been trying to teach you guys. They're using your realness against you. Okay? They know you won't hang with them. They know you won't hang with this dude because you don't want that. Yeah. Leave the kids alone. It's sad, man.
Abroad. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. Project 2025 also calls to keep moving on anti-equality propositions using the rhetoric that Donald Trump has been using on the campaign trail. And so, of course, as he fights against the rights of trans kids to access best practice medical care, Project 2025 echoes that with plans to ban gender-affirming care for all youth across the country. And
Trump plans to ban gender-affirming care for all youth across the country. Trump plans to ban gender-affirming care for all youth. Am I in the fucking Twilight Zone here? Am I in the Twilight Zone where this person actually wants children to go through real fucked up things as far as life-threatening surgery and then life-threatening misery if they're not happy with the transition? I mean, these are the people that's going out to vote. If any of y'all was watching the news or anything today and y'all saw those voting lines, if you saw the voting lines on TV, you was like, damn, them look like a lot of Kamala Harris voters. All them fucking weirdos. It's about sexualizing kids and depopulation control. We got to get Trump in the White House with a win tonight or it's all over for everybody. Well, you live in New York. Your vote don't mean shit. If you go vote for Trump, you're just having fun, which is your right. You heard me? You hear this, Key?
Project 2025 also calls to keep moving on anti-equality propositions using the rhetoric that Donald Trump has been using on the campaign trail. And so, of course, as he fights against the rights of trans kids to access best practice medical care, Project 2025 echoes that with plans to ban gender-affirming care for all youth across the country, and to even make sure that he's equipped to use levers at his disposal, like Medicaid, to deny that access to care for adults as well.
Trump don't want medical and federal. See, because Kamala's fighting for federal funding for transitions. That's what, remember they were saying that Kamala Harris wants to have the people in jail doing the transition and stuff. See, they want to make that a federal funded thing. And like I said, all the black women that vote for Kamala, they don't care about that. And it's okay. It's their right. I'm just saying this is what it is. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to tell anybody anything. I know what the fuck I know. I done been down this rabbit hole. This is some other shit. And they trying to use the federal government to fund transitioning, period. Don't matter. That's why I don't rock with Trump. Because only thing he's allowed to say, the only thing that Trump is allowed to say is they're funding prisoners. No. He's not able to say everything that this guy is saying. That's why I don't like none of them. They're holding Trump back from saying this. And that's what I'm like, whoa, Trump, tell the truth.
They're researching to make sure that we are placed back in the shadows. And of course, it explicitly calls back to bring back some of the most unpopular parts of Donald Trump's first term, like his transgender military ban and ending support for LGBTQ plus rights abroad. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. Project 2025 also calls to keep moving on anti-equality propositions using the rhetoric that Donald Trump has been using on the campaign trail. And so, of course, as he fights against the rights of trans kids to access best practice medical care, Project 2025 echoes that with plans to ban gender-affirming care for all youth across the country, and to even make sure that he's equipped to use levers at his disposal, like Medicaid, to deny that access to care for adults as well. It even seeks to create a license to discriminate, so that whether you're a low-income student looking to obtain free lunch at school, or you're a family trying to adopt or foster children, that the government would be giving the go-ahead for people to discriminate against you just because of...
Very important point. See, y'all don't know the whole truth. Y'all haven't been down the Kamala rabbit hole like I have. Understanding that Kamala Harris's sister has been one of the leaders for immigration and rainbow community for the past 20 years. Her sister has controlled what she said, $750 million in immigrant and LGBTQ stuff. Now, pay attention to this point right here.
Whether you're a low-income student looking to obtain free lunch at school, or you're a family trying to adopt or foster children,
a family trying to adopt or foster children. Pay attention. I got to get this is very important. This is very important. This is very important. Who's doing all the adopting? That's why I say I done been down this Kamala Harris rabbit hole, and I have learned, brother and sisters. Listen, who's doing the adopting? Not heterosexual people for the most part. So what would it be? It would be the most people that's married, which is what? Homosexual people, right? Now, if Kamala Harris is speaking for all of my straight heterosexual women to fight for reproductive rights so they don't reproduce because they have careers and everything, right? Where would they get the children from? What have you learned? What have I taught you? What have I taught you? Where would Kamala Harris get and the rainbow community be able to adopt children from if they promote for reproduction to not happen? Where would they get the children from? Can anybody answer that question? That is the question of the day. That's the question that I would like to have answered by anybody that's listening. While you answer that, let's go to Joanna.
A girl amongst them starts mocking him for his stupid stamp and also reprimands his nasty demeanor and the dark future it brings for him. Then, for the final blow, the girl interrupts his response, telling him to just pass the ball if he still knows how. Impressed by her, Jamal then notices how well the girl plays. And all of a sudden, he gets a strange idea. He calls Lauren on the spot, offering him the most talented female basketball player he has ever seen. While Lauren gets excited, hoping for a profitable contract, Jamal's plan is otherwise. Lacking any other sort of skills but basketball, Jamal decides to dress up as a woman to push himself through a female club of basketball. He rushes back home and goes straight into Aunt Ruby's clothes, trying them on. Jamal is approached by his Aunt Ruby, who is baffled to find Jamal in her own outfit. When she learns about Jamal's stupid plan, she severely opposed it at first, deducing that it could be a huge embarrassment and even sending him to jail if he got busted. Despite all this, she reluctantly agrees to help Jamal out.
Pay attention. He told Aunt Ruby that, and Aunt Ruby said, yo, you could go to jail if you try to be a woman. This movie came out in this movie came out hold on. Let's see when this movie came out.
Hi, it's Red Recap here. Today I'm going to describe a movie called Juwanna Mann, which was released.
This movie came out in 2002. So back in 2002, it would have been a crime to fake as a woman. Okay? It would have been a crime back then, but with Kamala Harris administration, it's not a crime. And this is what's coming down the pike for the women.
She reluctantly agrees to help Jamal out. The following day at the basketball court, Lauren can be seen offering a talented basketball player to Jennifer, coach of a female basketball team named Charlotte Banshees. While the two are getting disappointed at the new girl's arrival, Jamal shows up disguised as a female. The coach asks a player,
Oh shit, I forgot about her. Hold on, I think I seen her at the HRC. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think I seen her there before. What's her name? Wayans. I don't know her fucking name. Is it Kim Wayans? What's her name? Yes, Kim Wayans. Right. I knew I saw her over here.
Hi, my name is Deweese. I'm Kim Williams, and I support marriage equality. Nothing says family like marriage, and everyone should be able to marry the person that they love and to protect the family that they care about.
Now, when was this? 12 years ago. What would that be? That's like what, 2012? So that's 2012. Kim Wayans spoke out.
Gay couple stories are just as real and just as romantic and deserve to be supported. Marriage equality. Join me in making.
That was 2012. This movie came out in 2002. Let's go.
Letitia, to guard her. But he clearly gets the upper hand, giving an amazing performance on the court. Coach Jennifer is amazed by Jamal's ability and decides to accept it. Jamal introduced himself as Juwanna Mann to both Lauren and Jennifer.
So Juwanna Mann, she put this dude dressed up as a girl and went and took over the female sports.
Amazed by Jamal's ability and decides to accept it. Jamal introduced himself as Juwanna Mann to both Lauren and Jennifer. The very next day, Juwanna visits Lauren, who has no idea about his identity. A one-year contract with the Charlotte Banshees is offered to Juwanna/Jamal. Lauren also explains that contracts are standard and require no speech. Jamal pretends to be excited just like an amateur player, telling him that it is much better than playing in the parks anyway, and instantly signs the contract. As the contract paper is sent to the Banshees club through a fax machine, Jamal abruptly reveals his real identity. Utterly puzzled by his action, Lauren tries to stop the fax machine, but Jamal doesn't allow him to do so. He puts back on his wig, and as they are struggling over the fax, it seems like Lauren is humping on a female client, which was observed by Lauren's secretary, who entered the room. Lauren then tries his best to convince Jamal to stop the plan, but the latter refuses. It's the opening season of the WNBA, where Charlotte Banshees has a match against
the WNBA 2002, y'all. Matter of fact, I got something else for y'all. I saw this one too. Check this one out. WNBA 2002. We got, I think it was it Cheryl Swoops? What's that other bitch name that was talking about Caitlin Clark? Was it Cheryl Swoops? What's the bitch? Was it Cheryl Swoops? What was the bitch name? Yeah, Cheryl Swoops. Okay. Yeah. So this is 17 years ago, 2007. Juwanna Mann came out 2002.
Houston Comics has gone public with very private news.
It's been a little overwhelming, but at the same time, probably a lot easier than I thought it would be. The support has been incredible.
Making headlines is nothing new for Cheryl. In college, she led Texas Tech to the national title. She took the U.S. all the way to gold in 3 consecutive Olympic Games. And she was the first player signed to the newly established WNBA.
First player signed to the WNBA.
She guided her team to 4 consecutive championship titles.
So 1998, okay? 1998. Pay attention. 1998.
Player signed to the newly established WNBA, where she guided her team to 4 consecutive championships.
I keep missing it. 1998.
Where she guided her team to 4 consecutive.
1998, right? Juwanna Mann, 2002. That's how early they wanted men and women's sports. Okay? That's how early they wanted men and women's sports. 1998, she just won the damn championship. Back to back. So she won it in 97 and 98. Back-to-back champs. And they wanted men in that sport in 2002.
against the two-time defending champion, Houston Gallup. The game is also broadcast live on TV. Because of that, a famous rapper, Romeo, is singing for the proceedings. It turns out Romeo is in a romantic relationship with Jamal's teammate, Michelle. Juwanna is on the bench, and Letitia tells him the players' histories. During the game, a player was severely injured, causing the coach to send Juwana in. He plays well individually, but the problem is that he has broken down teamwork. Michelle keeps asking him to pass, but Juwana doesn't listen to her, and ends up costing them the game. In the locker room, Jamal is blaming his teammates, telling them that they are like a bunch of little girls. Michelle goes to coach Jennifer, asking her to kick Juwana out. But Jennifer tells her that since they've lost the injured player for the rest of the season, they have no choice but to make Juwana her replacement.
See that? They have no choice but to make Juwana a part of the team. This was 2002. What have we been getting since then? Men in sports, trans men in sports, volleyball, swimming, track, weightlifting, wrestling. Understand how they work us. It's a slow fuck.
Jennifer then asks furious Michelle to help turn Juwana around. At the same time, Juwana was struggling with his implanted bra, which all of a sudden flew over and landed on the window where they were talking, but he hilariously collected it somehow. Michelle then approaches Juwana, explaining how important teamwork is, to which Juwana responds that if they want to win their games, they only have to pass the ball to him. Juwana/Jamal also misses no chance to peep at females around him, as it's like a fantasy come true. Jamal is approached by Lauren,
and that's another thing. What have we learned? We have learned that trans men have been getting women pregnant in certain capacities. It's weird.
Told him not to draw any attention as there is a chance for another arbitration hearing. Until then, Jamal should keep a low profile. Before leaving the court, he notices the rapper, Romeo, is cheating on Michelle with another girl. In the next training session, Jennifer stops the training to warn Juwana to work with teamwork. She plans to make sure Juwana and Michelle, who are their strongest players, can play as a team. As a result, she orders a one-on-one game between the two. In the game, Juwana gets the upper hand and even pulls a prank on Michelle, showing off her skills. But Michelle praises her ability while also kindly lecturing that one player can't win the game, but the team does. Happy to be praised by Michelle, Juwana.
This how Vivica Fox used to look, y'all.
Seems to be impressed. After their little chat, they become closer.
This how Vivica Fox used to look.
Following one of the training sessions, as they're chatting together, they come across Romeo, who drives to pick up Michelle. It seems Juwana is upset that they're dating and kissing, especially when he knows Romeo is cheating on Michelle. In the next scene, Michelle and Juwana go to a spa center. While at first, Juwana gets overjoyed peeping at Michelle's masseuse, he soon becomes frustrated as all he gets is a crazy mustache obese man who crashes all his bones down during the massage. Outside the spa,
it was funny.
Michelle informs him of the flight they have tomorrow morning to New York for the next match. Despite all the efforts, during the next match, Juwana doesn't let go of the ball. But when he accidentally loses the ball, it goes to Michelle, and she makes a score. When everybody praises him, he then starts passing every ball, even though he can also score. As he is just a man, he takes any chance to squeeze the teammates' buttocks after every score and even in huddle.
Yeah, it was funny. He was squeezing all them girls' asses. It was funny.
The game is so close, but in the last 10 seconds, Juwana passes the ball and causes them to score, winning 81-80. In the locker room, as they are cheering for the win, Coach Jennifer presents the ball to Juwana as a way of showing appreciation for the best performance she had. But now changed, Juwana hands the ball to another player, mobbed it with a strange mustache, as she was the one who scored the last two. But it's not all that good. Shortly after the praise, Juwana has to take a shower in clothes to avoid revealing his real identity, pretending it's a superstition to not take off the jersey he won in. And in the next case, Michelle asks Juwana to put lotion on her body. Juwana smells her hair, indicating that he has fallen for the first time in his life. Since this time, he has gotten the chance to befriend a girl first. He also realizes Michelle is in love with Romeo and she always keeps his picture. Because of that, Jamal told her nothing of Romeo's cheating. In the next scene, Jamal, back to his real identity, meets Aunt Ruby.
And that's just what they say, gender fluid. That's the gender fluidity. You know, they don't want it like this where the man gets to get the pussy, still be a man. No, they want it where it's all the way left. But let's go.
On the other hand, Charlotte Banshees win rivalries one after another and look unstoppable of their teamwork and chemistry. Juwana also becomes very popular amongst the fans. But he can get rid of Puff Smokey, who sticks to him all the time and keeps sending him flowers and arousing letters. In another scene, Jamal must disguise himself as the team mascot in order to preparation. Jamal chooses to be selfless and stay with the Banshees to help them win. Jamal blows his cover at the end of the game when he decides to dunk the game-winning basket and shatters the backboard. Jamal loses it.
So he dunked the basketball in the game and he lost his wig. And everybody realized Juwana Man was a man. Okay? So he dunked the basketball and lost his wig.
His cover at the end of the game when he decides to dunk the game-winning basket and shatters the backboard. Jamal loses his wig during the excitement, revealing his real identity, and is promptly fired from the team. As a result of the deception,
he was trying to celebrate. He didn't know his wig had came off. It was funny as hell. So his wig came off, and he didn't realize it, while everybody looking at him crazy.
His teammates start suffering on the court. Seeing this, Jamal decides to put things right again and, during a break in another game, enters the Banshees dressing room to apologize for the lies and deceit and tell them that playing with them is his views and changed his attitude towards basketball, women and life in general. His former teammates, particularly Michelle, are still mad at him at first, but eventually accept Jamal's sincere apologies. It also inspires the team to win the playoffs and eventually, the WNBA championship. Days later, Jamal is called in for another hearing with the NBA's commission board.
So that was the movie, okay? The point is, this is what's going to happen when Kamala gets, you're going to have this stuff. And it's nobody that's going to be able to stop it. It's going to be law. If that man identifies as a woman, he should be able to play female sports. And as you can see, they've been dominating.
The government would be giving the go-ahead for people to discriminate against you just because of who you are and what your family looks like. They will create a license to discriminate based on religious exercise to ensure that these licenses can be used to violate civil rights laws, and again, making it so that our wins at the courthouse don't even matter under their regime. But then the last thing I'd like to underscore is the fact that the attacks don't stop there. They even plan on doing things like using laws that are over 100 years old to start blocking the shipment of medication and instruments that are used for abortion-related care. So that even...
Once again, some gay man cares about abortion-related care. You understand? And y'all never answered that question. Where would the adopted children come from? Y'all never answered the question because Joanna man. Where would the adopted children come from? What have you learned? Look, a gay man cares about abortion-related care. So if they're not having any babies in America, hint, hint, where would the orphans come from? Where would the adoption or adopted children come from? It's a sick process, man.
Even though Donald Trump bragged that this was now put on the states, he also has clearly been upset that many states are not pushing towards his anti-abortion agenda. And so now he would have the federal government step into those states to make sure that people don't have access to care, and even finding...
Close. You're close. But remember what Kamala Harris said. They're taking the children from their mothers. They're taking the children from their mothers. That's what Kamala Harris said. No, you can't say that either. From the from the migrants. They're taking the children from the mothers. The migrants. So they let people come in and they're taking the children from the mothers. Homosexual people can't have children, but they want to adopt. Kamala Harris is putting in the child care tax credit, where you're a married couple, which rainbow people marry more than heterosexual people, and they're adopting 2 and 3 children, getting heavy child care tax credit. It's powerful shit. Powerful.
Ways to use those laws to go after care for transgender people as well. And so unfortunately, we need to understand at this pivotal moment that Project 2025 is here. It is real, it's incredibly detailed, and it gives Donald Trump a roadmap to make good on his threats against our community. He is ready to rush in and to perfect the work that he started during his first run and to make things even worse for us across the board. And that's why we need to keep showing up to make sure that he isn't going to be given that chance, now or ever again. And with that, I will turn it back over to Nick. Thank you so much again for coming tonight.
Thank you.
That's why you say to yourself, damn, how could they let Trump win if they got the Obamas and everybody in with this? You know? It's powerful stuff, man. And like I say, the most important thing that I learned is, like they say, they have 75 million people. They have 75 million people on their team.
One of them to do everything that I can to make sure that we win. Because time isn't going to move any slower, and the stakes for our community are too high to be silent, too high to stay at home. In fact, did you hear the latest? As there are catastrophic hurricanes and storms devastating communities, Donald Trump and his MAGA bullies have the nerve to spread lies about FEMA while we are in crisis. Y'all, I don't know about you, but it pisses me off. It makes me so angry, but it also doesn't surprise me one bit. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, these MAGA extremists, they are not just power hungry, they are power mad. They will destroy our democracy. They will dismantle our freedoms. They will demonize our communities. They will do anything and everything to grab more power. These last few years, we've seen them in action. After losing in 2020 big time, Trump and Trumpers have been doing all that they can to claw their way back to the White House. We've seen extremists in state houses introduce hundreds of anti-LGBTQ plus bills, creating a total state of emergency for our community. We've seen extremists in Congress take bills protecting fundamental rights like access to contraception and IVF. We've seen extremists on the Supreme Court take away affirmative action and student debt relief, and create a right to take away the right for us to make decisions about our own bodies. Y'all, this is not a coincidence. This right here is a conspiracy to divide our nation and destroy our democracy, but we won't let them. Because we know that if they win in November, if these extremists take the House and the Senate, if Donald Trump defames the White House once again, they won't just continue trying to attack us. They will try to erase us. So yes, my friends, the stakes are high. This election will determine our safety and our security, our rights and our freedoms. This election will determine the state of our democracy for generations to come. But here, my friends, is the good news. At HRC, we have the ultimate fighter on our side. And yes, I'm talking about Vice President Kamala Harris. She is a bad, well, let me not use no cuss words to describe our next president, all right? She's been fighting with and for our community for a long time. Y'all got to remember where Kamala Harris grew up, in a little middle-class community in the heart of queer America. We got to remember who ran her first campaign. It was Jim Rivaldo, the political mastermind behind Harvey Milk. And we got to remember that she went all out for our rights when she got into office. She prosecuted hate crimes and officiated same-sex weddings. She supported the Equality Act and helped pass the Respect for Marriage Act. And let's not forget who she picked as her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, who as a high school teacher in rural America in the late 90s, Coach stepped up to sponsor his school's first gay-straight alliance. After serving in the military, Coach Walz went to Congress and helped get Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed. And as states were passing bills to take away health care from trans folks, Coach Walz went and did the exact opposite. As governor of Minnesota, he signed a law to make his state a safe haven for those seeking transition care. Y'all, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are the champions that we need. They will protect our freedoms. They will strengthen our democracy. They will expand opportunity for every person in this nation. They will lead our nation forward because we are not going back. Go ahead, start chanting at home. We're not going back. Make sure your neighbors hear you too. Listen, while more and more Americans are joining the joy of this campaign, are feeling the hope of this campaign, on calls like this, we also got to keep it real. Donald Trump still has a lot of support. This race is going to be close, but we are here, we are queer, and when we show up, we win. When we vote, we win. Y'all, there are 75 million equality voters in this country who prioritize LGBTQ plus issues at the ballot box.
75 million LGBTQ plus voters. 75 million.
That's more than the number of registered voters in all of the swing states combined. We can quite literally decide the future of our nation. We just got to show up, because this election is more than about sets of candidates. It's about two different visions for America.
Two different visions for America. And the point of this live stream was to let people know you can live in the new vision of America when Kamala Harris wins. It's going to be okay. You've been living in it all along. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, the problem is really not going to be on straight people. It's really, see, they already destroyed the man. Now the attack is on straight women and straight girls. They're going to go and take their sports and they're going to shatter all the records. It's going to be crazy. You know, the attack is on women this time. I see what's going on. The attack is, they're just going to, like I say, it's supposed to be gender fluid. Anybody could participate in anything that they choose, that they identify with. You know? It's just that when it comes to football, women ain't trying out for that. They just want to be a kicker or something like that. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. What do we want? Oh, Cheryl.
championship titles.
Sheila, who, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful women in the world.
Powerful women in the world. Kamala Harris is the most powerful woman in the world right now.
Wow. Thank you. But I definitely have to say a special thank you to Sheila, who, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful women in the world. I have to tell you this. I actually recently just read an article about you, and I already knew that you had it going on. But after I read this article, I closed it up and I said, Oprah, who?
Some woman named Sheila is more powerful than Oprah. None of us know who Sheila is. But she was more powerful than Oprah back in 2007.
And you know what? I'm going to say this, and I probably shouldn't say it because my agent's sitting out there somewhere, and she told me not to say it. She told me just to whisper it. But being an athlete, you know, we always want to do what we're not supposed to do, probably. So I'm going to say this, and I know there are some Texas fans, some Comets fans, some WNBA fans, but Sheila, you know I am a free agent next year. But before I get serious, because I am so nervous, before I get serious, I have to just say that for those of you who follow the WNBA and were wondering why I didn't play this season, I didn't play because I had a bad back, and I just had back surgery last Wednesday. Go ahead, y'all can okay. But my plans and my goals are to definitely come back and play in the WNBA next year, and who knows where. I am very grateful to the Human Rights Campaign for this unforgettable honor. And although this award is presented to me, I would really love to share it with my partner and love of my life for 9 years, Miss Elisa Scott.
Love of my life for 9 years, Miss Elisa Scott. So she's getting an award from the rainbow community for being Cheryl Swoops. You know, whole powerful woman rainbow thing.
I've been proud to accept many wonderful sports awards for my athletic skills. All of them mean a great deal. But I always am reminded to thank my team members and coaches also. Just about every single thing I do in basketball is about teamwork. So at last, an award that is all about me. Just me. I've been proud to accept many awards on the basketball court. But being here tonight to accept this Visibility Award is something that I probably never imagined would be possible. However, I also hope that my son Jordan and all of our children someday will dress up to go to dinner where they won't hand out awards just for being yourself. That will make real history.
There you go. And that's what happened. That's what happened. She had a son, single baby mama, raised that son with 2 women in the house as a marriage. Told that son you could be whatever you want to be. And she was hoping that, you know, you didn't have to get an award for being like that. And their dreams came true. They get to do whatever they want to do now. That's what we've learned. While the rainbow community is still fighting for stuff, we're saying, damn, y'all got everything. So what did that teach me? That teach me they want dominance. And what is the dominance that they want? It ain't about the men anymore. They want to participate in girl sports. And they want it to be law. And the women don't see it coming.
As much as I would like to believe that this award is all about me, there are a few more people that I would like to thank. A personal thank you to Nike for continuing to show their dedication to me when so many people said they wouldn't, if they knew the real you. Wondering if they do know or care and are just afraid. In professional sports or in any arena where you live and work, if you're hiding from yourself and hiding yourself from others, that is a lot of extra work and stress. Who needs it? Let me be even more honest with you. My reason for coming out was not to be some sort of a shero and tell every person out there in the closet to come out. It was all about me and what was best for me and my family. I cannot tell anyone else how to lead their life or how to be more open about themselves. However, I do hope that I can inspire and encourage everyone to live their lives and be proud of who you are as an individual.
That's where this was 2007. All I'm trying to show and describe to you guys is, look, man, they've been on a quest to where they got a woman to be the president. These people in this room at this very dinner. So when Kamala wins, I just wanted all y'all to be aware of the new way forward. Don't act like you don't know what it is. We already know what the rules are. Can you be a friend of a rainbow person for the sake of business and use them to help your youth and your community the way that they have used your civil rights to forward their stuff? Can you do that? And they know that you can't. So they know they have you dominated. You see all of the things that they say Trump want to do to them. And these are powerful people. They're not going to let it happen. They have everything they need in place. Gender fluidity. Kids transitioning. They're just looking to get the federal money for HIV and AIDS and conversion therapy. And the child care tax credit. So it's a war of big business. You think they're going to let Trump take the big business? That is the question. I say no. After going down the Kamala Harris rabbit hole, understanding, look at the Kamala Harris rabbit hole, man. After going down this rabbit hole, after going down this rabbit hole right here, I don't, and the way that they did the election and the way that they got the immigrants and everybody, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. They got all the big wigs. Who do y'all want? They got all the big wigs. I don't see Trump winning this, man. Cory Booker, stay over there. Chuck Schumer from New York. Matter of fact, that's my town. I want to hear what he said when he was there.
It's great to be here once again. I never miss.
He never miss. He always stays at this rainbow stuff that Kamala is the queen of. Well, Nancy Pelosi, then Kamala.
And I'm sorry that I'm not appropriately dressed here. I just got back from Cincinnati and Columbus helping Sherrod Brown win re-election against a candidate who is against everything we stand for, and Sherrod's the greatest. So I am so proud of HRC and Chad and all of you. We are dealing with probably the most dangerous and worst man in the presidency we have ever had in the history of this nation. But we are going to win the fight. And let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you a story instead of the speech they prepared for me. This is how I got in politics and why I am optimistic we will win this fight. So I was a kid from Brooklyn, went to James Madison High School. My father was an exterminator, never went to college. Madison, as you know, is a working class high school in southern Brooklyn. But from there, I got into Harvard. That didn't happen much. How did it happen? One, I was a decent, not great, but decent basketball player. But our team at Madison wasn't that good. Our motto was, we may be small, but we're slow. But second, the second reason I got in was that I had to get a job when I was 14 to help my family. And a Madison high school teacher was advertising for somebody to run the Mimeo machine. Those of you my generation, you young people who have never heard of it, but it was a clunky machine. You typed a stencil, went around and around. The ink smelled great. If we still had Mimeo machines, we wouldn't have to legalize pot. But anyway, I got the job at this new business this Madison high school teacher was starting. Now, what was his business? He had this brilliant idea. He was going to prepare students for the SATs. What was his name? You guessed it, Kaplan, although he paid me less than minimum wage. But anyway, nights, weekends, and holidays, I'd run the machine. It would go around and around, and I'd read the preparatory materials over and over and over again. And I got 4 800s on my tests. Not that I'm so smart. Not that I'm so smart, but I was the first to prove that it was achievement, not aptitude. Anyway, the guidance counselor calls my mother up, says he's an athlete with 800s. He ought to apply to Harvard. I get in, but I was scared. Harvard in those days was 80% prep school, people fancy, you know, all these expensive educations. How was I going to make it at this place? I go to the one guy from my high school who had gone to Harvard before me. His name was Red O'Brien. He was a ball player too. I said, how am I going to make it at this place? He said, simple. Try out for the freshman basketball team. They're terrible, so you'll make it. And those will be your friends. That's who you'll hang out with. Third day of school, tryouts. We're wearing these little numbers. Number 27, yes, sir. You're Schumer, yes, sir. Oh, you went to Madison, yes, sir. How's Coach so-and-so? He's fine, sir. Then he looks at me quizzically. He said, you played forward? I said, yes, sir. He said, how tall are you? I said, I'm 6'1", sir. He said, can you dribble? I said, that's not my strong suit, sir. He said, go home. Didn't watch me touch a ball. I wrote a note to my mom saying, I told you I should have gone to Brooklyn College. I'm coming home Monday. But that night, fate, someone knocks on my door, says, how would you like to join the Harvard Young Democrats? We're working, and again, this is ancient history for some of the young people, but we're working for a man named Eugene McCarthy, who is challenging Lyndon Johnson in the primary in New Hampshire on the basis we shouldn't be in the Vietnam War. And I said, I didn't have a political bone in my body, but I was against the war. I said, okay. The next day I get on a bus with kids from all over the Boston area and went up to New Hampshire, and I loved it. It was like sports. We'd divide up a neighborhood. Everyone would knock on doors. We'd make up our own leaflets. Their act of humility, he said he saw that the country was against him on Vietnam, and he said he wouldn't run. And I said to myself, wow, a ragtag group of students and other assorted nobodies toppled the most powerful man in the world. Well, my friends at HRC, we are against someone far worse than Lyndon Johnson. And the dangers to America are even greater. But I have never seen such activism in the streets, such protest and resist and email and calling and writing. I have never seen that except in the Vietnam War days. So we can do it with you. If we win and we take back the Senate, and please don't forget, they're going after, you know who's number one on their target list? Number one against the hard right-wing greedy people who put all that money in the races is the first out senator ever in America, Tammy Baldwin, member of my leadership team. I hope you'll support her. But overall, if we can take back the Senate, that means that I will have the sole power to determine what goes on the floor of the Senate. And that will...
Wow. So Chuck Schumer is from New York. And I don't know what happened, but he was telling his private group that when he takes over the power of the Senate, he's going to do this.
We will not get another backward right-wing judge on the Supreme Court, period. It means we'll be able to stop Donald Trump from putting all his junk on the floor and stop the anti-LGBT cascade of things that come into the United States Senate. So keep up the activism, keep up the protests, keep up the calling, keep up everything that you do, and we will take this country back. Is that
It's not a game, man. Where are the powerful people that's down like, yo, brother, I'm in New York. Look at who I got as the senator of my state. This dude is totally against me. My vote means crap. I don't have people that's going to do what he said his people's doing. I don't have a group. I don't have a coalition. If you're not rainbow, you are not a part of the big wigs. Do you want to be a part of that? Or do you just want to live your life bearing witness that they're better than you? By law. By law. So I guess I'm going to take a break, right? I'm going to take a break and I'm going to come back for the election. Everybody's doing live streams for the election. I'm going to do mine as well. I just wanted to prepare you people for the new way forward. And just understand this is about children, adoption, money, HIV and AIDS, diversity, equity, inclusion. And can you be friends with Saucy Santana? Can you and Saucy Santana be friends to do business for the Black community? Can you handle the stigma that will be placed on you for being a friend of Saucy Santana, meeting him for brunch 2 times a week so that y'all could discuss how y'all got basketball, football, baseball camps for Black boys and girls all over with the states or whatever, doing real shit? That's the bucket they put you in. Can you do that? Realizing that when all those kids graduate and make something of themselves, they got to thank you and Saucy Santana. And you got to say, and people got to say to you, yo, who your partner? How you make this thing happen? Yo, Saucy Santana, son. Me and Saucy Santana, we came together. We did business. You know, we helped these Black youth. Yo, you and Saucy Santana doing anything extra? Nah, we just kept it business. You know? Can you handle that? Because that's the way forward. I have come to grips and I have learned what the new way forward is. And I realize as Black men, as a Black man myself, knowing that I cannot do business with Saucy Santana, that is where we're losing. I could see my loss. I can't do the business with Saucy Santana. Will I ever change and become able to do business with Saucy Santana, helping build up youth basketball programs and stuff like that? Can I do that? Will I be able to ever do that? Man. That's the new way forward, man. And that's why that's why the Black man is held back. Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, they learned how to do it. D.L. Hewley, they learned how to do it. Can you learn how to do it? You know? Who? Diddy knows how to do it. They've been doing it, like, you know, teaming up with the other side, and we haven't. They know that we won't. It's fascinating. Your own realness used against you. You know? The Kamala Harris train, I would say, if you ask me, my prediction, there we go. We finally there, yo. My prediction. We got some work here. My prediction.
The story.
My prediction. Let's get it. After all of my intense studies, all of the rabbit holes, the lies, the rainbow, the everything, the power, after everything I've been through to lead up to this election, I believe Kamala Harris is the most powerful woman in the world. For some odd reason, I see that Nancy Pelosi and them and Obama and everybody has been building this way forward. I know as a black man that when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got into office, in the black community, we said Joe Biden's going to get sick, and then Kamala will be president, and we'll get the first woman president. That was always the urban myth and the urban legend in the hood all across America. They did it a different way. They made her cheat and get up into the primary. She didn't have to run a primary. I was like, oh shit, we thought Joe Biden was going to get sick and they would put her there. But they're making it look like it's fair that she's going to beat Donald Trump straight up, knowing that they fucking cheated. Plus, she has all the powerful people behind her. Plus, the numbers don't bear out for black men involved. Plus, I'm in New York. My vote means shit. We're depending on the Midwest. I say Kamala will win. That's how fucked up this game has got. I say Kamala will win. I've done this study. If Trump wins, it will be what you call an upset. But more importantly, it'll be an upset because, well, the way it really happened was instead of Joe Biden getting sick, Kamala Harris raised $1 billion in 2 months. So it turned into the most fascinating money thing. You know, because we thought Joe Biden would get sick, but they turned it into money. No, put Kamala up there. She raised $1 billion in 2 months. Wow. You know? She has everything it takes to be the president as far as the team. They've been putting people in place for the last 40 years for this very day. Only thing they tricked me about was Joe Biden didn't get sick and they made $1 billion. So they did it way more creative than any of us thought. We thought Joe Biden would get sick and they would just put her in there. But they did it way more creative and they made everybody, except me, everybody made money. As far as YouTube, Joe Rogan, it was just a money frenzy for all the election. So it was creative and they kept everybody engaged all the way into the last minute. The most creative movie I've ever watched, where everybody's making money, it's creative, everybody's participating, everything. And then the person that is going to win was going to win all along. If Trump wins, it will be an upset. Do you see how these rainbow people really believe in what they're talking about? And if Trump wins, they will really be upset. You talking about billionaires. You talking about Lady Gaga, Clooney, Pink, Taylor Swift. They will be upset that Trump wins and stop transition surgeries on children. They will be upset, and they're not going to let that happen. They want this country to do that. So that's why I say Kamala Harris will win. They want some other shit going on. And if they don't get that this term, they may not never get it again. Because remember, if Kamala wins, I think CNN said it, even though we all know it. If Kamala wins, look what that would be. That would be it would be Obama 8 years, Joe Biden 4 years. That's 12, right? And then Kamala's gonna stay in for another 8 years, completely moving this country forward. You understand? So that's 20 years of the Obama administration, the first person who legalized same-sex marriage federally, and the federal funding for HIV and AIDS. And they were very upset that Trump snuck in and won that and stopped all that. Then they cheated so Trump could get out of there, and they be damned. There, you're not taking 8 years. They're gonna have Kamala in there for 8 years. I vote Kamala. Well, I don't vote Kamala. I say Kamala will win. Because this is an 8-year plan. Because even if Trump gets in, it's only for 4 years. And basically the higher ups are saying, why would we just waste time with that? But they did have a fun election run as far as making money. You know? All the networks, everybody made money. They got a bunch of babies in here for orphans and everything. Everything, it's all set up. They cannot let Trump win and break up this plan. They're not going to have Trump running around here with ICE. Remember, Kamala wanted to destroy ICE. So they're not gonna have immigrants watching their back, getting their shit kicked in. I remember those days in New York, it was going down. They was deporting the hell out of people, B. It was crazy. Yo, niggas was scared in New York. For real. So they're not having that anymore. I could tell you that. So I just want y'all to pay attention to the new way forward. Look, we're going to come back. I need to go get me some bud for this. I'm going to have fun. This was the greatest movie we ever watched. This election cycle. It raised billions and billions of dollars for the whole country and abroad. Fascinating story. It'll all come because it don't stop here. Kamala 8 years, y'all. Y'all missing the point. Kamala 8 years of rainbow shit. It's going to be crazy. Matter of fact, I got something for that. It's going to be crazy.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous...
Yeah. It's going to be different, man. It's going to be the Twilight Zone. But I'm preparing you for it so you won't be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised because I realized the attack on men, they defeated the men already. This is attack on little girls and girls. They want men to participate, who identify as women, to participate in collegiate, high school, and they're gonna probably go to professional sports. They already is as far as the Olympics. They wanted to be in the Olympics and professional sports. So the attack on men, they've defeated us. We've always stood down. We can't fight with no damn rainbow. So now the attack is going to be on the girls and the women. So we're going to come back for the election, y'all. I'm out of here.